Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday encounter and everyday life of an Aspie, or as we should say, pretty much the Beauty from Ashes channel. As you are fully aware, pretty much in my last video, I was talking about basically on the part 2 of knowing your circle, pretty much knowing who the real deal is, pretty much the main questions that tend to arise when we are in certain circles in our everyday lives of how it's going to go about it, you know, and we need to, like, as I say, self-evaluate on all these questions, as well as maybe, you know, self-evaluating who's real, who's not in our circle, and maybe just, you know, maybe be real and actually sort it out for the real deal. And all further ado, right now, I'm actually doing another one about the Know Your Circle. This is hopefully the last part of the series of Knowing Your Circle, which is basically watch your back, pretty much. This is based on friendships, however, and hopefully you guys will understand where I'm coming from when I'm sharing all this. As I said, this is to encourage and inspire you all, and hopefully give you a little bit of light, and basically give you the heads up that, you know, this is something we need to think about, as well as these other everyday topics that we come across every day, pretty much. So, here goes. We need to get real here, and have spiritual eyes to know who's real and who's not in our circle. To know who our true friends are also. We need to know in our everyday circle, however, as everybody who's riding with you may not be riding for us, for however, you know, are there in the background pretty much supporting us, but in reality, are they actually talking behind our backs and just backstabbing us, or are they just going to be there for just a certain sort of pound of time? You know, these are the ones that we punch, sort of thing. For many of us, may not take one for us, however, you know, if something happens, you know, like taking a bullet for them, and they may not be taking a bullet for us, because they're the one that's at the end probably pulling the trigger of these so-called friends of ours. The people that hangs with you, however, that laughs with you and hangs with you and enjoys the good times with you and not pretty much want to stay with you at the bad, they aren't always there for you. As I said, they're here for a time and a reason and a season, pretty much. Just because they're smiling at you while you're pretty much face on, they could be just stabbing behind your back, you know, pretty much, and just talking about you, mocking you, basically thinking that, you know, you're not worth it, tearing you down and everything else, just to make them basically feel stronger and everything else. But I've learned that these are the weak ones that are jealous and insecure about us, even if we are getting ahead in life, and they just tend to want to drag us down, because like I said, call these people haters, pretty much. They are also tearing us down through their weaknesses, basically, or our own weaknesses and flaws. People say that they've got our back, but in reality, do they? And also another one is, but in reality, loyalty is real until someone proves it to us in the real deal, pretty much in our circle, and respect us for being our own selves, regardless of what it is. The better we do, however, with our lives, the more successful we become, and pretty much, you know, as well as our circle becoming smaller, pretty much, I've learnt. As well as when our good intentions are being exposed, however, pretty much. So why should we tell our secrets to some people, and then they go about their merry way and just basically, as I said, go behind our back and actually break our secrets and actually break our trust and everything else around us, just to build us up with the sweet nothings. Oh, we're there for you, Kira. We're going to support you all the way. Yeah, let's go. Let's party, you know, and all this shit. But in all reality, let's be real. You know, there will, like I said, there will become a time in a place for many people that may want to be there for us, and no matter what, I feel that, you know, they may not be, you know, they'll be gone like the season in the sun, or, you know. Also, I've learned basically we were trusting them with all our hearts and all our beings and all our, you know, insecurities and all our, you know, everything. And what happens? Obviously, that trust goes. As I said so many times before, for me, trust is like a glass. Pretty much handle it with care. Once that glass breaks, that will be hard to replace and mend, and that goes for trust, as well as pretty much also in the world of realm of our everyday relationships. That's how I feel, that pretty much once you've got it hands-on and that, and if you really are certain about it, you know, then be sure to handle it with care, like I say, like I've been labelled as I'm too fragile sometimes, but I hate that label. I may be, you know, delicate and stuff in certain areas, as I said to you all before, that I'm spiritual and that, and sometimes it stirs me up, or certain everyday situations that people may face, or even myself face, and that it heartbreaks me and even makes me so emotional to the point that, you know, seeing them the way they're going through it is similar to what I may have been through, sort of thing. And sometimes I feel at a loss that I don't know what to do to help you a lot. You know, sometimes I just, you know, sometimes feel if I say some sort of word that it might just make you snap, or even make you feel worse than it was before. Pretty much. I've also learned also, when in this reality, in this day and age, despite these values and that trust is a given, take, reprimand, also in that perspective, trust also is gained as well. Pretty much can be replaced, but as I said before, it takes a lifetime to rebuild what's lost. The dreams and aspirations that we shared will guarantee pretty much that the friendships along the way will not last forever. However, the ones that say that they're saying and praying for us, that they're there for you, maybe behind closed doors, however, they'll be laughing behind your back. So be aware, as I said, know your circle, pretty much. Just as you do everything for you in your own life, pretty much just to pretty much get ahead, there'll always be someone dragging you down, mocking you, stabbing you in the back, wanting to basically see how far you'll go, to the extreme of basically where you're going to go and how far you're going to go, because obviously they're insecure, and obviously they're seeing us getting ahead and thinking that they don't want to be left behind. But then again, sometimes some people may not be ready for that destination or journey of our lives, basically to share it with us, you know, or come with us on our journey, even though every journey is different, as I've accepted that now, that, you know, even though sometimes we not be on the same page or same journey, but then again, despite these journeys, some journeys may take slower than others, or sometimes some people wants to get to the finish line so fast, so quickly, that they don't want to enjoy the little moments that's there, regardless of, you know, some of them are looking for love, seeking out basically someone who they can trust, who they can just, you know, cuddle up to at night and basically, you know, say the words I love you and all this nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense, but I'll just put it out there, because obviously in my being, we need to be aware that, you know, the journey needs to be basically taken slow and actually enjoy every little moment that we've got, especially if there's, as I'll say in my next video of it, so in this one, a particular someone that's in there at the moment in our circle that should basically be given that respect. I've learned also basically that despite that down, people will tear your life down just to build themselves up for their own glory, namesake, titles, you name it. And sometimes I feel that sometimes some people, regardless of what we do in our lives, they want to try and take over certain situation. Be it like, example-wise, if I was in an office and I did something, like planned something as a PA or something, and then all of a sudden they get the credit and I don't, despite my hard work and determination to succeed regardless of it all, sometimes, you know, it just really, then they end up getting trapped, even though then, you know, as I said in the last video, that sometimes some people just tend to tell us sweet nothings, lies, half lies, truths, whatever, just to gain that trust and respect. And then once we do gain that trust and respect, obviously it flies out that window, and then basically where do they end up? Who knows? Friendship isn't about how much friends we have, basically, as I've learned. Basically, it isn't about how much we talk about, how much we hang out with each other, but it's about, to me, being there for one another and caring for one another and being there for the good times and the bad times. Friendship is basically, to me, also that I can find someone who I can trust and talk to, no matter what it may be, and that's regardless of all that. I feel that sometimes in my everyday and age, I'm learning to try to open up more. But as I said to myself, Karen, hold back a bit, you know, refrain yourself, because I am sometimes, to my experience, too trustworthy on my own self to go blabbering on. You know, many people think I'm talkaholic or talk the subjects to death, but then again, that's fine. You know, that's their business, not mine. But sometimes I've also learnt about friendships, we need to be there for everyone's struggle, and basically that whatever we face, being them for them and the good as of their successes and triumphs and more pretty much is important, as well as maybe, you know, what I've learned also. The smaller the circle, however, of ours will get, the clearer our vision and basically our dreams and everything else we have, you know, had in our mind will become a reality check for us. You know, sometimes I find that when we're in a large group, as I said in the last video over about losing ourselves and loving ourselves, basically, like, I've learned that, you know, no matter what, we should be able to, even if it means losing friends along the way, even though sometimes I've learned now that many of my circle is getting smaller and smaller because obviously, you know, many people hate me for me. I don't know. Either that or they make their lame excuses that they've got things to do or whatever the case may be. But that doesn't matter. It's not restricted numbers yet. It's restricted loyalty, meaning basically it's not about, oh, I've got this amount of friends on Facebook, you know, or I've got a lot of friends on YouTube, or I've got a lot of followers on Twitter, whatever the case may be. Because in reality, we need to be with people that's going to be with us all the time for real. Now, I know that every day for me is a testing time for me to know who is real and who isn't in my circle. No matter what, you know, as I said, trust factor is a real big thing for me, even though, yes, I'm lacking in it, and that sometimes that now and again I need to realise that who's real and who's not, and also being there for me. I notice that time and time again many people tend to just give me a hard time no matter what it may be, you know, and that's fine. I try to make sure not to take it on board, even though, yes, I am sensitive and stuff. I'm trying to make sure now, try not to care about what other people may say and think about me, because that's their business. That's their problem. If they had problems, instead of talking behind my back or talking to others and around in their circle, you know, oh, sweet nothings, or just like to gossip, which is another thing which I hate. People gossiping behind your back and thinking that it's okay to do so. When you have problems with people, you should actually hopefully confront that person. But even then, sometimes I've learnt not many people will take on board to listen to you if you had that problem with that particular someone. But then again, that's their problem, not ours. People who doesn't have your back look at you no matter what. When that time comes to do some open heart surgery, we need to probably cut some old people off, old ties, regardless what they are, let them go. It's all about us, as we know, with everything we need to do in our lives, and it starts with us no matter what. Basically, we need to realise that sometimes it is good to just cut some old branches, you know, prune and stuff, because obviously we need to allow room for other things in our lives to grow, regardless, even though every day I've learned in our lives is a growing process and a learning process of everyday situations, regardless what it may be. You know, hopefully lesson learned that we don't go through that again. But sometimes it takes longer for some people for the certain lessons to be learned, which therefore I'll put my hand up. This is taking certain things for me a long time. But anyway, enough jibber-jabbering about this last topic, even though there's a bit more that I wanted to share, but I'll just leave it as this. Thanks for watching, guys. Pretty much, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You know, don't be afraid to message me. You know, I'm hoping to see more subscribers, and hopefully you all will have a good day and see you all soon.